Where do I begin? When the demo for Quantum Break was shown to the public in 2014, starring Paul Rudd, the game looked fantastic. It showed a man being able to manipulate time in various ways whilst still in combat. In the final game, more time mechanics were added and the main protagonist was changed to Shawn Ashmore, who plays Iceman from the X-Men movies. They even make a reference to this in the game.
What are you, some kind of goddamn X-Man?
But the game is a mess overall. Quantum Break was supposed to launch in fall of 2015, but was then pushed to April of 2016. Microsoft said that was done strictly to not have its launch flooded with better games. Other games, such as Black Ops 3, Fallout 4, and Halo 5, just to name a few. This also means that Remedy Entertainment had some time to polish the game while they waited for it to come out. I didn't buy that game at launch, and at the time it bothered me that I didn't because I saw incredible potential on what this game could be for Xbox. I saw it as the next big thing. Nope. The gameplay is very sluggish and awkward, jumping is very slow, the game is glitchy and blurry, which are big problems by themselves. But on top of that, the game has a very fuzzy filter over it, which makes any area that is lacking light covered in this static crap. And I thought it was my TV at first, then I thought it was the game disc. I then checked online and saw that other people were having the same problem, and the only way to fix this was to go into your TV settings and lower the sharpness. Talk about a pain in the ass. The game also has absolutely some of the worst reflections I've ever seen. Since the game is in third person, you can switch shoulder perspectives, and doing this sometimes will allow you to see through walls. But those are all gameplay based problems. The story I personally found confusing. There was an intro cinematic which gives away who the bad guy is and what happens in the first act, which I laughed out loud when they showed me, and then an hour later I saw the exact same thing in the game. The interesting thing about this game is that there is a TV show to go along with it. Every character in the game is an actor in real life, but only a handful of characters actually make an appearance in the show. Each episode is about 45 minutes and there are 4 episodes throughout the game. You get to see the perspective of the good guys when you play the game, but the show has the perspective of the bad guys. I would also like to point out that the show also has this fuzzy crap over the darker parts too. Let's talk more about gameplay. It starts off feeling very weird and clunky. I kinda got used to it by the end because I stuck with guns that I liked using the most, mainly the shotgun and the SMG, which is basically half of the weapons in the game. There are 3 types of pistols. You always have one of them on you, and unlimited ammo for it, which I think is a great idea. Then there are like 4 or 5 other guns, with some of them having variation to them. Like the SMG has a full auto variation as well as a burst fire variation. After every battle, there's a puzzle to solve, and I can tell you how to solve all of them. Either you rewind time in a certain area to reveal an object to jump on, or use your time stopping ability to stop something from falling so you can get through. That's it. That's all of the puzzles in the game. Copy and paste it over and over. And there are quite a lot of them. I realize it sounds like I hated the game. I didn't. I think I was so critical on Quantum Break is because I was so excited to play it. It didn't live up to my expectations, but it did have some really cool stuff featured in the game. I think it's a great idea to feature real life actors to star in the game and then take advantage of that to make a TV show in tandem to explain some of the backstory. I didn't mention it before, but you have some substantial choice which affects the story in the show, which is pretty clever. A character might die because of you. Would they still have died if you chose the other option? The game itself had some epic moments and some smart ideas. Sometimes you're fighting enemies while time is stopped, so if you kill someone, their body won't fall to the ground but stay suspended in midair. And better yet, you can bump into their corpse and watch them float around the room, which is a ton of fun by itself. There's an impressive part of the game where you're walking around the room while a device is being built. But the thing here is that it's taking years to build and you are seeing it being built within a matter of seconds. Now some of my closing thoughts. The game being sluggish is a style choice and could just be something I personally didn't like. But other problems such as the static and the terrible motion blur I wish would be fixed in some way. My vision for this game is that it gets a patch or a re-release on the Scorpio, fixing these problems which will allow the game to run a lot smoother. It is very clear that the Xbox One is struggling to run this game. I'd like to see a sequel, and seeing that it surpassed Microsoft's expectations, it might happen eventually. Like I said before, this idea has incredible potential and I would hate to see it go to waste. Remedy are a talented group of people, and I know that next time around they will do much better. But whatever, I'm just thinking out loud.